Hey guys, welcome to another equipment review. Today we are reviewing the SledTread by Tib Bar Guy. So the SledTread, it does a lot of things. As you can see, it's a power tower and a manual treadmill. So some of the brief things, and we're going to show you all these exercises that it does, is it's a sled, so you push it like a sled. It does pull-ups, it does dips. There's places down here for push-ups, like your typical power tower. You can do sit-ups, you can do Bulgarian split squats, you can do manual treadmill work, you can do almost anything you can think of with a power tower and a manual treadmill. We're gonna get all into those. I've been using it for about 2 weeks now, and I'm excited to give you my full thoughts on everything. But first, of course, let's get into the specs. Let's get that over with so that we can get into the fun things. So this retails for the treadmill and the power tower at $1,000, $1,099. If you just want the SledTread, it's about $999. That's, before taxes. It's 135 pounds. So this whole thing is 135 pounds, which is okay, like it's for men and women, it'll be easy for you to move. It does have wheels, which we'll show you. So you can vertically store it and then wheel it around. I've already moved it around my garage multiple times, and for me, that was no issue moving it around. It has a 3-year frame warranty and a 1-year parts warranty. As far as maintenance goes, the only maintenance that they recommended is every 3 months, you're gonna lubricate the belt. So they send you a little bottle of lubricant with a nice long tip. You'll stick the tip underneath here. You'll lube the belt. That way you keep the belt and the platform nice and happy and moving friction free. It has a digital display, which is going to track your distance and time as you use the treadmill. The belt and the platform, you can have it be flat, or you can have it be a 7-degree incline by changing this pin right here. You'll pop this out. You'll set this down. I'll show you that further later in the video. So you can have a 0-degree or a 7-degree incline on your treadmill. There is the option online to get a multi-step attachment. So what that would look like is it's a step that's going to connect here on the frame. You could do calf raises, you could do step ups, anything you could think of with a step. It's going to give you a little bit more options. I don't have that, but we'll insert a little picture so you guys can see what that is. As far as the treadmill, it has magnetic resistance. So over here, there's a dial, and we'll show you up close here later in the video when I'm using it, with four different settings. So you have the 4 magnetic settings down here, and then underneath, we have the ability down here with this wheel to pull this pin out, and there's 3 different settings here, making it the closer to the magnet, it's gonna offer you more resistance. So with the 4 settings up there and the 3 holes down here, that gives you 12 different resistance levels for your treadmill if you're doing manual or sled push. The really cool, great thing about this is there's no electricity needed. So as I said, it's manual, it's self-powered, you don't have to plug it in. So even if you lose your power, you can still get your workout in. We also have the belt surface area, right? So the length of this belt is 53 inches long and it's 14 inches wide. If you're getting the power tower, the overall height of the power tower, the max user height is gonna be like 6'7". The max capacity is gonna be 300 pounds. If you're just doing pull-ups, max weight over here is 400 pounds. The height with the power tower is 86 inches. If you're just using the SledTread and you don't get the attachment for the power tower, that's 65.5 inches. Okay, going through the power tower first. So the power tower, we're gonna do pull-ups, dips, and push-ups. So to do that, you simply lift the treadmill portion and rest it on the sled. It's gonna lean back on it. Safety first, I would have loved a catch so that even though it's resting back on that portion back there, I would have loved to be able to put a pin here, because when I'm doing push-ups and you'll see it's a little, it has some move and groove to it. I wouldn't want that falling down on me. So it's one of the things I wish they had, like a belt or something I could just secure this. So in my mind, I'm not afraid of this coming out and whacking my head. All right, the pull-up bar. So it's kind of your standard pull-up bar. The knurling on this is very mild. So if you've never really worked with barbells with heavy knurling or have any calluses, this is gonna be great because it's not gonna tear up your hands. if you're the kind of person that likes more aggressive knurling so you don't slip, you're not gonna like this because it's, like I said, it's very mild, and you might have to have some chalk, or you could even use some like vet wrap tape and tape it up to give you something to get that friction to create something so you can stick on it and not fall off. So here we go, pull-ups. As you can see, right, I'm on it. It's got some wiggle. I mean, it's a mobile unit, so you have the wiggle, but for pull-ups, it works fine. My height, I am 5'10". You know, I can stand up and hold this. If you're like above 6 foot, as it said like 6'7" is the max height for someone, although I think if you're that tall, you're not gonna be able to do pull-ups. You have grips in here that you can use. If you wanna do a chin-up, you can't actually do a chin-up like this. It's going to, I mean, unless you have small hands, right? If you wanna do an underhand chin-up, it's just not a lot of space in between these bars. So it'll be a little uncomfortable. And if you have a smaller shoulder frame and you wanna go even closer in, you won't be able to do that underhand supinated grip. It's got the inward one, these ones. I don't think it was necessary to have all of these. I would have just liked the standard bar with maybe one set of these in here instead of having 6 different options. But that's what it is. So there is the Power Tower pull-up. Moving down to the dip bars. Dips are a phenomenal body weight exercise. It works your chest, it works your traps, it works your triceps, pretty much your whole entire upper body. If you're a bigger person, a male with a large shoulder frame, this is gonna be great for you because it's wide. But for me, having smaller shoulder frames, these are too wide for me. When I go wider on the grip, it puts a lot of torque on my shoulder and it doesn't feel good. I would have liked these to maybe have the option to flip in and out so I could bring them in for smaller females or flip them out if you like the wider grip. But that is the dip bars. I mean, I can do them. It just doesn't necessarily feel great on my shoulders. So for me, I would not use these for dips just because it's too wide for my body. Lastly, we have the push-ups. So you have these down here. I do like that they have a protective kind of pad on them. So like you have like just something grip onto instead of just the metal. So you could do push-ups. Same kind of concept as the pull-up or as the dip bars. If you're smaller than me, if you're a smaller female, these are gonna be really wide for you. And when we talk about push-ups, you wanna think your body position as an arrow, right? You want your elbows to kind of go back and out like a 45-degree from your body. And when these are here, I can't necessarily do that. My elbows have to go out when I would like them tucked in. So, you know, work with what you got. It's not bad. It's just not built for, in my opinion, smaller females. It's definitely for bigger, average size males. So that is the push-ups and the dips and the pull-ups of the Power Tower. All right, let's move on to the treadmill portion. So this here, these pins here are how you're going to have the incline or decline. So if I'm here, I'll put a pin in on one side just to show you, so you have it. And that's gonna be your 0 degrees. You can see it's flat. So you want flat work, or as I had it, you want incline, make it a little tougher. You just put the pin in and then you locked it in at the incline, which is what I'm gonna demonstrate. So there you can see the bottom is lower than the top. Our first exercise that I'm gonna show you guys on this is manual walking. Since this is a manual tread, you have to use opposing forces. And what I mean by that is, it's not gonna move if I'm here. Like it's not gonna move. I have to be pushing on some part of it. I'm not like pushing hard, but I have to create a force this way so the belt will move this way. There we go. So, manual walking. All right, so that's what you're doing. Now, the cool part, the sled. So if you want to work on sled pushing, and you, like in my space here, I don't have enough room to push and pull a sled. And in the winter, I'm not dragging a sled out in the snow. That's where this comes in. Different forms of sled work. Up here, it's all padded. So here you go. You can do a stiff arm sled work. Or you can push it here. All these different hand grip options. And if you want to really put your body into it, let me add some resistance. You get low, putting your shoulders into these pads, and now you have real good sled work. Crank up the resistance a bit. All right, and sled work is really good for metabolic conditioning, for lower body, glutes and legs. I mean, I will say the sled here does feel good. I like that you can go lower and higher depending on your height. What I think would have been cool is if person dependent, these were movable, if you could adjust them, right? So if somebody wants them a little higher, a little lower. This is built for like the standard person, but I think a really cool option would be that you could adjust these, the heights of these. So if you want to like lean in up here or lean in low, you can, instead of just having the one option. But that's fine, I'll take it. It works well. I have no issue with the sled portion of this. This is the multi-purpose pad. On the top, you have pop pins, which are just going to pop in and out of the holes. And the bottom two on each side are going to be your tension pins. So for certain exercises, you're going to need that extra tension to lock this in place. We'll get into that. I do like the pop pins. The tension pins just take a little bit more time to set up and secure and to put them in. A few seconds. I prefer pop pins all around because it's quicker, but in the grand scheme of things, taking another minute to put on pop pins and tension pins is no problem. So you lock them in. I got to go a little lower. There's different adjustment points for this, as you can see, all along the sides for the different exercises we'll go through. Line that up, pop them in, and then screw them, tighten them, and then, you know, if I wanted to put the tension pin, which I don't need for this exercise, but those are the tension pins, to just give you that extra sense of security that it's not going to move. So to do the backwards walking, the pad needs to be high enough that it's going to support your lower back, upper butt area. So this is great, as I said, for knee health. You're going to really blast your quads with this. So you're leaning against this multi-purpose pad and you're walking backwards. Feels great. There's no issues. The treadmill doesn't stick like the belt. For me, it's your typical manual belt. It's not like those assault runners when you get on it, they just go. This, you really have to put your butt, like put your ass into it to make it move. So that is your backwards walking. Since this is called a multi-purpose pad, I'm going to take you through some of the other multi-exercises you can do with that. So that is the SledTread with Power Tower. Overall, I like it. I think there's a few things, it's almost there, a few tweaks, and it's there. Like, right, I want the sled tread part, like the belt to be secure back here. I would like this to be adjustable, and a few more options for the smaller shoulder width females so they could do dips and push-ups. But other than that, you know, I have nothing bad to say about it. Who is this good for? If you have a small space and you don't want all the bells and whistles of like a big power rack and weight stacks and barbells, This is a great multi-purpose piece of equipment for you, especially if you're just getting into bodyweight exercises. You cannot go wrong with push-ups, pull-ups, core work such as sit-ups and sled work. I mean, this is going to give you your cardio and your strength. It's all in one. That's what I think this is good for. General population, just looking to burn some calories, get fit, and an all-in-one inclusive unit. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in a comment down below. And as always, please subscribe, and I will see you guys here next time.